Is it me? Is it Taylor Swift? Who knows? But I am 22 today. So, I wish I could play the song, but I can't. Let's get into the reading vlog. Good morning guys, and welcome to A Page in the Chapter. Today we are reading like Taylor Swift because I'm turning 22. So the day that this video goes live will actually be my 22nd birthday. I will be in Paris and I can't wait. But I'm filming this video because I do tend to do birthday videos, and this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while, and when I realised that it worked for a birthday video, I ran with it. So I have 3 books here that Taylor Swift has said she likes or loves or has obviously read, so we will be reading those. We will be seeing what I think. I have very different tastes to Taylor Swift. Whilst I do think we could be friends, I wouldn't say we would be friends based solely on our taste in books, because I don't really see me liking these. The first book that we will be reading for this readathon, I've tried to read before, I didn't get very far, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, as we can see. Marvin hair there. I did start it. I started it for the first round of the Magical Hopathon back in October and just couldn't get very far with it. But not only is it the perfect book for this themed vlog and the book that inspired it all, and inspired, I believe, Tolerate It, track 5 on Evermore, one of my favourite songs. This is also one of like my closest friends in real life's like favourite book, so I do really want to give this a go. And I have heard that once our main character leaves the country club, then the book gets a million times better, so I'm very excited to see that. If you are unaware, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier follows the story of a young girl who is taken in by this older man, and she marries him, and then she is constantly living in the shadow of his ex-wife Rebecca, who he is still in love with. And I've just heard very, very, very good things about this book, and whilst I was hesitant about it, finding out that one of my closest friends would consider this her favourite book, I have to like give it a go, and knowing that it gets better after the country club fills me with hope. So I will be starting this literally this morning. I got ready all before breakfast and stuff just so I could read this with my breakfast. And then we have Conversations with Friends. Now, I believe Taylor Swift has mentioned Sally Rooney before and has spoken about the fact that she enjoys Sally Rooney books, but I went specifically with Conversations with Friends because her partner, boyfriend, fiance, husband, however far along in their relationship you wish to believe that they are, Joe Alwyn is in the BBC adaptation of Conversations with Friends and plays the like main male character, I believe. So Taylor Swift has obviously read this book, so it makes sense for it to be on this list, and I'm intrigued to read my first Sally Rooney. I'm not sure I will like it. It doesn't seem like something I would like. I will like get into the plot and stuff when we get to this book, but I'm very nervous about this one. And then I have no idea what the third book is going to be. I'm thinking Stargirl, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'll be purchasing it on my Kindle and do some research and things and just kind of wing it with that one. See which of the options I'm in the mood for. Ignore the angle change, there's a lot of noise going on in my house at the moment. I just come and made a chai latte, so I'll make the rest of my breakfast and then I'm going to start reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier today. If you guys like the sound of this video and you would like to see more, then do please hit that big red subscribe button down below. Stay tuned for future content. It'll be a lovely gift for your gal on her 22nd birthday, okay? It's literally my birthday today. It costs you nothing to subscribe. That is what I would like for my birthday. Thank you very much. You can also check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page in Chapter, or behind the scenes, more up-to-date things of what I'm reading and how I'm finding it, and just about my life really. Probably see loads of Paris clips at the time that this video goes live. So yeah, I'm very excited for breakfast. I'm hungry. And I'm really excited to start Rebecca, to be honest with you. I needed that little push of my friends pushing me to read it because they say it gets so much better. So I'm quite excited for this one. I'm glad we're starting with Rebecca. We're mostly starting with Rebecca because it's more of a classic and I tend to read those slowly. And it's a bigger book than the other one. So it just makes sense to start with this one first. And now I need to just go and stop filming because the noise in this house today is gonna drive me mad. It's been so difficult to film this tiny little intro. If anyone's wondering what I'm watching right now, I am on a rewatch of Bones just before I start my master's degree in forensic anthropology. So Bones is a crime show based on forensic anthropology, and my anxiety has finally cleared up enough that I can rewatch it. We do also have a Marvin down here. He is begging for my croissant. Bones, book, let's go. Day 2 of trying to read Rebecca. Mind the slightly wet hair. It's also very, very blonde. I've literally just got out of my appointment and it's really blonde, like intensely blonde. But whilst I was in my appointment, I did finish Rebecca. I meant to update you as I went, but it didn't really happen that way. My friends were correct, and once I got past the bit at the country club, it was so much better. I had a really good time with it. At one point, like, Jack was asking me like how the book was, how I was finding it, and like what I told him was it's just too good for words. Like, I genuinely could not put into words how I found this book, and that's kind of why I've been really hesitant to vlog it, because I just can't work out what I'm feeling. I definitely need to reread it and annotate it after doing some research, which is not something that's going to be happening too soon, but I want to buy a different edition and annotate that one, or buy a different edition and annotate this one. I don't know what, but I just feel like this book deserves more than me talking about it when I'm not entirely sure that I understand the significance of the book. And I just loved it. I love the fact that her character is so naive and we root for her so much. You guys, like in the ballroom scene, it's just rough. It's rough going, and you feel so bad for her, and she is so naive and taken advantage of from the get-go, and it's so interesting to see how quickly she grows up. And I like the fact that she's like so in Rebecca's shadow that we like don't even really know her name. It may have been mentioned very early on and I've just missed it, but I do not know the name of our main character, and I really kind of like the fact that even if you do find out very early on, it's not something that's brought up a lot, it's not mentioned a lot. She's very much living in the shadow of Rebecca. You hear the word Rebecca so many times and not our main character's name. We just know that it's unusual. I love that. The one thing I don't particularly love is the ending. Not that it was a bad ending, it was fine. I just felt like the last third of the book was very suspenseful and I was very on edge, and I would have wanted it to build to a bigger ending, or if the event at the ending was the ending, then I would have liked to have seen the after effects of that, because I just feel like it was a very, very sudden ending. I really wasn't expecting it to end there. It looked like there was going to be another chapter, and then I looked and it was actually just like the afterthought, or like whatever it's called. And I don't know, I was really expecting like just more from the ending, but again, like I really want to research it and research the significance and then reread it, and maybe I'm just missing something. But all in all, I loved Rebecca so much more than I thought that I would. My friends were correct. Maybe Taylor Swift and I would have something to talk about, because I'm really enjoying this book, and I also have not been able to stop listening to Tolerate It since I started reading this book. I've become obsessed with Tolerate It by Taylor Swift. Although I will say that song made me think that I would hate Max a lot more than I do, honestly. He wasn't as... I mean, obviously he was awful. And if you use your critical thinking skills then, and like through a feminist lens, he's awful. But if you just kind of take the book at face value and you don't use those feminist critical thinking skills, then honestly, Tolerate It was from a very feminist perspective, and I really thought that he would be more of a villain than I mean he's a villain, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was expecting him to be worse, and I actually like started to feel some sympathy for him. But I was also constantly questioning the fact that we only hear his like version of events and his side of the story, so like what really happened. It's all like, want to keep talking about it, and I feel like I need more, but I also feel like the book is so perfect because it doesn't give you more, and I really like this book. Like, I love it. And this was a really great book to start this blog on. I actually have another Daphne du Maurier book at home, and I'm going to read that on my 22nd birthday because Taylor Swift, woo! Now I'm gonna go home, have some lunch, and start Conversations with Friends as the next Reading Like Taylor Swift because I'm 22 book. I'm in my car again, but I am 152 pages into Conversations with Friends. I'm confused by my feelings towards this book. I find the characters really difficult to connect with, and I don't think the writing style helps. I don't think Sally Rooney has made much of an effort to make you connect with the characters and get to know the characters, and it all just feels very surface level and just not a deep story or anything like that. Like, I'm just not loving that aspect of it. But whilst I'm not loving this book and I'm not loving the writing style, I just can't seem to put it down. Every time I do put it down, I'm constantly thinking about picking it up again and really wanting to know what happens, because whilst nothing is really happening in this book, it is one of those books that is about nothing. I just desperately want to know what's going to happen and how it's going to end up for our characters. And I really thought that the lack of quotation marks would make this book really difficult to read and things like that, but it's really not. I feel like I'm very easily slipping between dialogue and not dialogue even without the quotation marks. I'll admit sometimes it's a little bit ambiguous whether something is a thought or is said out loud, but I almost like that about it, and it's just not as much of an issue as I really thought that it would be when I found out that Sally Rooney doesn't use quotation marks. So I'm on my break now. It's a Thursday. We all know I hate Thursdays. I just hate the way people are on Thursdays, but I have an hour to read some more of Conversations with Friends before it all kicks off again. I did it. I finished Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney, and I did it in enough time because I was getting a bit worried that I leave for Disney the day after tomorrow. Do I have time to edit this vlog? We shall see. If you're watching this on the 17th of June, then I got it up in time and all is good. I actually really enjoyed this. I'm not gonna say it's one of my favourite books of all time. I am not that girl. I'm not gonna become a massive Sally Rooney fan or anything like that, but I will probably read Normal People after this, and I will say that overall I had a very positive experience with this book. My little pigtails are sticking up like crazy, but I'm feeling very cute with the little pigtails and the short hair. Short hair is just really working for me right now. I'm having so much fun with it, and it's similar hair to the gal on the cover, so that's fun. I'd say the massive thing that kind of led to me maybe not enjoying this book so much is that I just can't relate. This book deals with some really big conversations surrounding politics, communism, capitalism, monogamy, all these types of really big things that were very interesting to read about, read about a different point of view and things like that. I just, as I said, just didn't really relate to that. More so, the central theme of this book is kind of monogamy and relationships and affairs and things like that. And again, I really enjoyed it. I really wanted to see what happened. I love the ambiguous yet kind of hopeful ending, and the fact that we don't really get an answer for what happens between Frances and Nick and how it ends. And I really like that because I don't think there was a particularly satisfying way that this book could end. There was no traditional happy ending for our characters in this book, and I like the fact that Sally Rooney didn't try to do some trite way of giving them a happy ending. I did really enjoy that, But yeah, I found it very, very difficult to relate to, and probably why this isn't going to be one of my favourite books of all time is because I just can't really relate to being comfortable with like sharing a guy. It's just not something that I personally can relate to. Very, very interesting to read about though, and honestly quite eye-opening to see different reactions to a situation through the characters in this book. It just, yeah, I feel like me and the characters in this book had some very, very fundamental differences, which is probably why I found them very cold and unfeeling and difficult to relate to, and I found all of them that way. And I also kind of think that that was intentional on Sally Rooney's part. I don't think we were really supposed to see a lot of emotion from them. So honestly, I had a really good time with it, and I would be very happy to talk to Miss Taylor Swift about this book. And I'm actually really impressed with her reading habits, because coming into this video, I really didn't think I would enjoy either of these books. And I have enjoyed both Rebecca and Conversations with Friends immensely, and I just feel like it has broadened my reading horizons a little bit. I'm feeling quite good about myself after reading these books, if I'm honest with you, and I'm starting to see what the whole that girl thing is about. So I'm having a pretty good time. I think in the beginning of this vlog I did mention that I might read a third one, but given I go to Disney the day after tomorrow and I'm on a 12-hour shift today and a 12-hour shift tomorrow, I think it might just be safer for us all if I wrap up this vlog right here. So I read both Rebecca and Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney in this vlog. I had a fantastic time with both of them. I would say Rebecca is my favourite of the two that I read. This book has really stayed with me, and as I said, want to reread it, becoming a little bit obsessed with this book. Like, genuinely could become one of my all-time favourites. Like, this is just, it's such a good book. You really kind of have to stick with it though, and you don't really realise how good it is until you put it down and you just kind of absorbed it a little bit more, because I'm really happy that I kind of decided to do this vlog and I stuck it through with Rebecca. Let me know if you have read either of these books. I'm assuming most people have done. Let me know if you want to do more kind of Taylor Swifty reading things. I'm a massive Taylor Swift fan, so I kind of knew that I had to do this video for my 22nd birthday, but I can definitely do more. There are some other books that I could do. The problem is that I'd already read a lot of them, but I do want to read Normal People now, so I do think we could do a part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am aware that I have not been the biggest presence, particularly on booktube, but online at all lately. I'm just struggling with the balance of everything right now. I don't know, I've just been really overwhelmed with things, and so I've taken a bit of a step back from my YouTube channel, but I am in no means leaving this community. I do want to get back into it. It was recently my 2-year anniversary on booktube, and I haven't celebrated it with you guys yet, but I really want to. And yeah, please just know that I'm really grateful for you guys for bearing with me. I just have to find a flow and a routine again. I've completely lost it, and it's really kind of like an overwhelming thing to get back into. It feels like a very big task, and I think once my birthday's over and my holiday's over and things, we can figure something out. But thank you for bearing with. If you guys have liked this theme vlog and you're just, I don't know, maybe it could be a nice 22nd birthday gift to me if you would hit that big red subscribe button down below, please. I will be coming back in full force, back to 2 videos a week, just back to normal. Honestly, it is a very big goal of mine. So please subscribe if you have enjoyed this video and you want to stick around and see some upcoming content from me. Let me know your thoughts on these books so we can have a chat about them. I would love to do that. And yes, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. You are enjoying everything that you are reading, and there are no reading slumps in your future. And I will see you for my next video. Bye guys.